I'm a little cranky today. I just want to warn you.
Again?
Yes, I can. Cinco de Mayo. It's Thursday with Mike and John. Got it going on. Had a big winner last night in our Thursday night trivia question. We'll get to that, of course.
Our final entrant.
The last one.
Yes, we just did the accounting procedures prior to the show, and that was the 10th entrant.
That's why we're crabby.
Yeah.
It was like, oh gosh, we have to add. We have to make sure we have 10.
Yeah.
That was the deal.
We did forensic audit.
Oh, yeah.
We went back in, scrutinized everything, and yes.
If I would have known that, I'd have made the question a lot harder.
Right.
But I didn't, so
okay.
You're welcome.
That's okay.
All right.
So we'll have that answer coming up here in just a few minutes.
Big giveaway with Cooper and Binkley Jewelers. Also, Cooper and Binkley bringing you today's Gigo News.
Right, and here's what's going on. A crash Wednesday in Genoa Township sent one driver to the hospital and slowed traffic for several hours through one of the busiest intersections in Livingston County. According to the Livingston County Sheriff's Office, deputies were dispatched just after 6 p.m. to a two-vehicle serious injury crash on Grand River in the traffic light-controlled intersection of Walmart. A preliminary investigation indicated a 58-year-old female Fowlerville resident was driving a 2015 Ford Fiesta westbound on Grand River when she attempted to turn left into the Walmart parking lot, but she failed to yield to a 2010 Ford Fusion operated by an 18-year-old DeWitt man. He was heading east on Grand River. The Fiesta was struck in the passenger side by the Fusion as it turned. The driver of the Fiesta was not wearing her seatbelt and was injured in the crash. She was transported by Livingston County ambulance to the University of Michigan Hospital in Ann Arbor for treatment. The driver of the Fusion was wearing his seatbelt and was not injured. Neither speed nor alcohol appear to be factors in the crash, which closed down 2 lanes in the intersection for about 2 hours during investigation and cleanup. The crash remains under investigation. More than a century after his passing, a Livingston County Sheriff's deputy who died in the line of duty has been recognized. Deputy Earl Avery was honored Monday night at a candlelight memorial service at the Michigan State Capitol. The Livingston County Sheriff's Office says it only recently learned Avery died in the line of service in 1921 due to a vehicle accident. Sheriff Mike Murphy attended the ceremony and placed a carnation on a wreath for fallen officers and then lit a candle in Deputy Avery's memory. Earl Avery was a World War I veteran and a lifelong resident of Howell. And a professional snowboarder from Livingston County said it was the experience of a lifetime Wednesday as he visited the White House and met President Biden. Jake Vetter, whose 6th overall finish at this year's Winter Olympics made him the top performer from Team USA in the men's snowboard cross, posted to Instagram pictures of his visit along with other competitors from the Summer Games in Tokyo and Winter Games in Beijing. Vetter, a 22-year-old Pinckney native, took a selfie with the president along with other photos from the event, including one with him posing in front of the White House. Vetter has been a member of the national team since 2018 and has been snowboarding since the age of 3. And that's what's going on.
I'm glad you and I taught Jake how to snowboard.
Yes, it's good
You're
to see that
welcome,
he took those lessons.
We should have given him a Gigo sticker to take to the White House.
I taught him how to fall down correctly.
And I taught him how to get back up.
Yeah.
So you get knocked down, you get back up again. Of course, news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, downtown Brighton. And our winner, final winner.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Cooper and Binkley because they are providing the big prize.
They are.
For our giveaway tomorrow afternoon for Mother's Day.
Right. We'll have 10 qualifiers joining us at Cooper and Binkley about 1 o'clock, and we'll make the drawing, and they'll get that beautiful $880 valued Zagani gold and diamond twist.
Yes. And our answer from last night's trivia. The average American does this 32 times a year.
32 times a year.
It said dangerous.
That's more than once or twice a month. I did the math.
Look at that guy go. It was eating while driving. Eating while driving.
That number
I do
seems
that
low.
like every day.
I mean, that number's low. I think
but some people don't eat and drive. You know, some people just feed the kids.
Are they Americans?
I don't know. We have to check their.
Isn't
it should be a driver's part of the driver's driving test. Shouldn't it?
You joke, but honestly, it should be because we all do it.
It's.
You should know how to properly, eat and drive.
And there should be certain foods that would be more on the recommended to eat while you're.
Here's what you don't eat while you drive. Anything from Taco Bell.
No, well, that's why it can be dangerous.
Unless you're like, you know what? I think this shirt would look good with some taco meat on it. Okay,
I don't ever clean the inside of my car.
Then go ahead and do that. Otherwise, no.
Sherry Kendall,
yeah,
our last qualifier. Congratulations to Sherry.
All right.
She's qualified for a big giveaway with Cooper and Binkley Jewelers tomorrow, downtown Brighton, of course, for all your Mom's Day gifts. They've got what you need. You spend $200, you'll save $30. Spend $300 or more, save $50. If you spend over $500, you'll save $100.
Right.
That's 20%. We did the math on that too.
Yeah, we did.
Thank you to Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, of course. Free gift with a purchase of over $300 for Mother's Day. And they still have the 27th annual Mom's Day wall going on. The kids making Mother's Day portraits from first graders at Spencer and Hawkins Elementary School.
Yeah, very cool. So thanks to the folks over at Cooper and Binkley's, and we'll be there tomorrow with our 10 qualifiers.
We may even pop in tonight during Ladies' Night. Ladies' Night Out is going on tonight in downtown Brighton.
You know how the ladies are asking for us.
Are they?
Shut up. Anyway, hey, we're brought to you by Firehouse Doors, located in Livingston County, serving residents for the past 24 years. A family-owned business striving to treat each customer like family. They're veteran-owned. Mike, a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. They're your one-stop shop for residential, commercial, and rolling steel overhead door needs. Boy, you always call early.
Well,
for the past 20
they're going to take to answer. Rich is quick with the phone.
For the past 21 years, Firehouse Doors has been... Yeah. Hold on, I'm in the middle of an ad.
Hold on.
For the past 21 years, Firehouse Doors has been Livingston County's only authorized distributor for CHI overhead doors. Call them today, 810-599-7480. And yes, on the phone, Rich Perlberg.
Good morning, Rich.
With the less you know.
Can I talk now?
Yes, you may talk now.
Yeah. We're letting you get the vocal cords warmed up.
Right. Get that last drink of whiskey down and warm them up.
When you talk to us, chances are you needed a shot or two.
I'm not sure why it has to be the last drink, but okay.
Right. So we're talking with Rich Perlberg, of course, the less you know, and we thought we'd start with something light and easy.
Lighthearted.
Like abortion.
Okay.
Like I said, what's better than having three older guys talk about women's reproductive health?
Hey, if women aren't used to, three white guys sitting down and deciding things for them by now.
Wait a minute. Should we put on robes? All right.
All right. So obviously this draft opinion comes out this week, and big furor, and both sides on this issue.
Who's it going to bring out
Back and forth,
more
right.
support for? Is it going to be the right or the left as far as who's going to come out and support? Get their voices heard.
Like this leak, who does it benefit? Yeah, I mean, who do you think will most?
I don't know. That's a great question, and I was just talking with somebody yesterday about who do you think really did it? Was it the pro or the anti side of the abortion issue? It could have been either to try to create this type of interest and anxiety. I mean, this is probably the most emotionally and divisive issue over my lifetime. It's hard for anybody that has a belief to be lukewarm about it. You're either 100% pro-choice or you're 100% pro-life, and there's not a whole lot of room in between.
So, right. So the initial reaction, at least looking at it, seemed to be that this was going to benefit Democrats. The pro-choice movement, because it was going to energize them, especially prior to the election. And then there's been this debate, like, who leaked it? Was it somebody on the progressive side? Was it somebody on the conservative side? Right? Well, it was Alito's opinion, but who leaked it out was the question.
Yeah,
who?
You know what? I'm a little bit jaded in my thought about all these things that are going to energize the Democrats. I've heard about too many blue waves that turned out to be little dribbles, and I can go back to when John Engler upset Jim Blanchard to become his first run for governor, and it was the anti-abortion crowd that put him over the top at the end. And the reason Donald Trump got elected was, you can think of all the other stuff about angry white men and all that stuff, but it was the idea that he was going to be able to appoint Supreme Court justices that I think got him this narrow victory, and it worked. Look at what's happened. Those are the most monumental things he's done. Was between him and the workings of Mitch McConnell totally changed the look of the Supreme Court, and you've got a majority now that's getting ready to apparently strike down Roe versus Wade.
Well, I guess the thing that strikes me about this is that the surprise. Oh my God, they're going to strike down. I'm like, where have you been? Like, what rock were you living under? This is what has been in the works now for.
Did you see Susan Collins saying she was shocked
was she? You're right. Was she literally clutching her pearls? Because That's the thing, I guess. And so here's the thing about the leak. Everyone's talking about who leaked whatever and the ramifications of that. And I guess my point is like whether this decision came out now or in July, I guess, when it was supposed to be released. What's the difference?
People would have been shocked.
What's the difference? There would have been the same. So in a sense, you get a couple of months advance notice, I suppose.
I'm not sure how this changes elections. Were these people not going to vote this fall?
Right. I guess I don't necessarily subscribe to the fact that it won't energize Democrats. I think it will. I guess I just feel in terms of the timing of the leak, I don't think it matters because whether they all got energized now or they all got energized in July, my question to them is, why weren't you energized prior to this? I mean, in terms of this has been in the works, not just in the last couple of years, the last couple of decades. This has been a long-term project to do this. And in a certain sense, wherever you stand on this issue, you have to say, I think it's just a strategy thing. You have to say, hats off to...
My sense of jadedness is if they really cared about this, then why didn't they vote for Hillary Clinton the first time and you wouldn't have had a Donald Trump presidency?
I mean, I think that's, right. I think, and like I said, I think this even precedes the whole Trump movement. I mean, this has been a long-term project. I mean, look at Alito. This was his opinion, and to me, it's not a coincidence that they had him write the opinion, because look, he was a George W. Bush appointee, and he was an arch conservative placed on the court to achieve exactly this outcome. And I would say this. I think that the anti-choice crowd. Sorry, I'm going to say it. I think that they have been patient. They have been relentless. They have had a long-term plan. They've just kept the pace moving forward to achieve this goal. But here's my question to you or anybody else: is okay. Do they really want to achieve this? I mean, I understand if you're...
That's a great question. I think the true believers do. I think if you're part of the Republican background, this is a little scary because this has been a great source of political power for you. Regardless of what they believe, they've been able to throw out the... you see somebody who runs for Republican office, and the first things they say is that they're anti-abortion, although they use the term pro-life. They're pro-Second Amendment. You got to say that. The Republicans, most of them probably paid for freaking abortions in their careers, but the cynical ones really don't care about abortion. They care about winning elections, and they're able to use abortion as a tool to do that, and that'll go away.
And I guess, I suppose I was looking at it like this. In terms of
well, once you get what you've been campaigning for so long, then it's like, okay, now what do we do?
Exactly.
So I guess time will tell on that.
Critical race theory, grooming pedophiles. I mean,
all right, we got more.
They have a smorgasbord of issues that they
planted
can...
that seed now. Okay, I got it.
The thing is, and I know this is really going to put people to sleep this early in the morning, but the thing is about... There's a technical thing behind Roe versus Wade that gets lost in the shuffle, in that Roe versus Wade doesn't come out in favor or against abortion. What it does is it finds constitutional protection for abortion, which a lot of people say doesn't exist. And even the notorious RBG said Roe versus Wade was really a problematic decision because it was not based on good constitutional law.
Well, I guess that brings up the thing that I've seen the people that have been trying, the crowd that has been trying to have this outcome achieved. What they've said all along is exactly that hey, this was a poorly decided legal decision, and that this is not a codified law. It's and that they created this right to privacy, and yet, but I think that it's the same Supreme Court. I mean, different justices, but it's the same entity that you're now going to use to overturn this, but you're doing it by the same means that you've spent 50 years saying was illegitimate to do it to begin with. In other words,
welcome to politics.
That's the crap with Kavanaugh and other nominees who assured people like Collins that they had a respect for precedent.
Right. Yeah.
Which they did. And they were lying through their teeth. I mean, maybe Brett was having
All right now. Was Squib around? Squee, whatever his name was.
Was it Squee?
It was
Squid? Squid?
Squee.
I forgot. Squib? I don't know.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the Opera House now.
I'm gonna grind the gears a little bit on this, Rich.
Since we're talking about old institutions. When John and I first started doing morning radio here in Livingston County, we did get a tour of the Opera House, and it was before the first renovation, which really just covered the main floor.
Yeah.
But such a cool building, and I understand those that want to restore it, but the cost of this thing, even back then when they were talking about getting like $10 million and whatever they got. And that was just
along the way they've made some improvements, but obviously they haven't restored that second floor, the main area.
But there was parts of it, and we got the history of the whole building and a lot of cool things. There's probably still tobacco spit stains on the upstairs level from high school dances or something. But
it's an amazing thing.
It is.
See some of the pictures back when it was used for graduation, for dinners. It's a wonderful potential treasure, but I'm kind of struck by the idea of $13 million. Back at the renovation you talked about, some of that was pushed by suggestions from a really well-known area guy named Jeff Daniels, who happened in town, and talked to him.
Good friend of ours.
He said, "You guys got to quit talking about stuff. You got to do something small, relatively small, to get the thing open."
Right.
And when they told him they were looking for, I don't know, it was $7 or $10 million, then he just laughed in their face and said, "I'm a movie star. I couldn't raise that."
Right.
Well, I know.
Remember Melissa Gilbert and Tim Busfield when they were residents? The short period of time they deigned us with their presence. A lot of people were like, "They're gonna buy it and fix it up," and I'm like, "They're not Jeff Bezos, for God's sakes." Now Bezos, this is like his tip on his lunch tab, but short of something like that happening, the reality is I don't know how you're going to get that kind of money.
Well, and I think also, and this is one of my beliefs in a community like Howell or Livingston County, you've got to be very careful of how you go after your community's resources. I mean, people know people and can have lunches and dinners with them and say, "This is a good deal, I think you should spend your money on that." But there's a finite amount, and is that really where you want to try and get your money for? I mean, one of the best fundraisers in Livingston County was a couple, 20 years ago for the La Casa building.
Right.
Which was significant. Or for the cancer building out at in Genoa Township at what used to be called
Woodland.
Those are significant, important additions to the community. You're really going to try and raise $13 million for an opera house? And I don't know. I haven't seen enough of it. Maybe they've got a plan. But do they have an operational plan to go with that? I mean, what if you somehow succeeded? How do you make that sucker run?
Well, yeah.
It's small.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the it's a small space, so it can't be ticket sales. I mean, that's not going to do it.
Yeah, who's gonna write checks of $10,000 to $50,000? You go down to Chelsea at Purple Rose, and Jeff Daniels has contacted people who write big annual checks to support it. And like he said, he's a movie star.
Yeah.
Where in Livingston County are you going to get checks for that?
I think we're going to have to move the podcast to the upper level of the Opera House.
There, we'll do it.
We're only going to raise what, $12.9 million.
That's generous.
$12.99999 million. So,
it's a wonderful thing. But
it's a great thought, but there's other options.
I mean, no one, and again, no one's debating whether the Opera House should be renovated or should be saved. Of course it should, but how do you do that? Who pays? I don't know.
That's a ton. Yeah, I mean, if it's the taxpayers' money,
in Traverse City, they've got an opera house. I saw the one story that said it would be the only one of its type in Michigan. Well, there's 7 or 8, including one in Traverse City.
Adrian has a beautiful one too, I think.
Well, they've got the Traverse City one has seating for over 600 people.
Right, and the seating for the Howell Opera House would be
60.
I thought it was less than. I know, really. I thought it was less than 100. So,
well, if you're talking the upper level and then the main level, but you still have the stage, right?
But if you're gonna book an act on that stage, you can't fit but maybe 60, 70 people.
Well, here's what you do: you just put big screens outside and let people stand on Grand River.
Well, but in all seriousness, how do you make that work?
That's what
If you book an act, that act's going to want to get paid. So what are you going to have to charge for your tickets?
Oh, about $700.
It's like going to see the Eagles.
Right. That's how you bill it. You just go, hey, it's just like buying a ticket for the
Yeah,
Eagles.
you do that, wouldn't you?
Come on, man.
Sure, it's a high school play.
Maybe if they can get the Beatles back.
Oh, yeah. There you go. We'll reanimate the two dead ones. Bring them back. It's simple.
It'll be virtual
Super.
type
Now,
thing.
here's the motivation, though, and I want to give you guys this image to carry on the rest of your day.
Uh-oh.
Years ago, when he was editor of the paper, Buddy Morehouse said if they ever raised that money to restore the Opera House, he would dance naked down Grand River.
Oh, God,
Oh,
please.
that'll
No, that's
keep
that.
that-
No,
no,
that-
that's
no,
not
forget
gonna
it.
happen.
Now,
No.
Mike and John are now fully on board with not raising that money. We are going to oppose every public effort. I was just shaving my mustache for warmth. That's a whole different thing. So,
I love the idea of the building, but my God.
Yeah.
The way the arts have changed, though, and this could be a sporting/arts theater,
Yeah.
is if you bring gaming into it. Virtual gaming, like how the gamers, if you made that a gamers theater, you could probably raise that kind of money, because that's more people would probably go to see that type of stuff, like e-games, as opposed to going to see.
About that. That just, I might as well. You might as well try to get me to figure out how to run my TV.
Well, there's that. I mean,
well, just,
we'll start like with
here's a
what's that?
Coleco football for you.
With Wii.
Yeah.
With the Wii, Wii bowling. Okay.
Is that like that Pac-Man stuff?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, close enough.
The beginner.
Sure.
You got to walk before you can run. Crawl before you can walk.
All right, so
I mean, this just solidifies me as the curmudgeon of Livingston County. I just don't see.
If they do a gaming thing there, maybe, Rich, that could be your role. Is every now and then you could come out in a bathroom and be like, what are you kids doing in here?
You're kind of like Jeff Durham's Walter. All right. We haven't learned a thing yet.
No, we haven't.
It's the less you know
It
with
is.
Rich Perlberg.
All right.
I lived up to my name.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Rich.
Take it easy. We'll talk to you next
Take
week.
care.
All right.
All
Yeah,
right.
the less you know with Rich, that's a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah, and the Opera House, it is such a cool building, but that's a lot of money.
It is. All right, hey, we're moving into we got a bing bang boom morning this
That's
morning.
what I heard when I walked in.
So
it's a big.
We're
bam,
we're
boom.
going right
Boom.
from the less you know to something that you're actually going to learn, and of course that's our community spotlight, sponsored by Jordan Genso with the Genso team at Remax Platinum. As a community-focused real estate agent, he is once again spending the month of May doing what he has dubbed Main Street May, where each day he'll be using his Facebook page to highlight a different business on Main Street in Brighton, encouraging everyone to take a moment each day this month to support the businesses that build our community. People who interact with his post will have a chance to win a $10 gift card to his business. Yesterday, he stopped by the Pound Bar and Grill, and you can find his post on Jordan Genso Community Servant Community Realtor Facebook page for your chance to win a gift card.
You might see Jordan with headphones on as he listens to Main Street by Bob Seger every time he goes into a different
Part of
Main Street
May.
Yeah, it's part of Main Street May.
All right.
And
Welcome to Verizon Wireless.
All right. So
all right. Remember that big bang boom?
Yeah.
It's kind of a
Try it
big
again.
bang.
So, all right. So we're hoping to connect with Jeff and Jana Yeeke. They are leading the charge to transform about 100 acres along the Huron River in Hamburg Township into an outdoor recreation venue that'll be called Freedom River.
They're really hoping to do that. They really are.
Let me see.
How many times do you want me to dial the number?
Just make sure you called it right. So, oh, see, you got it.
You got me.
You.
Look
Okay.
at that. I transformed two numbers. That was bad on me.
Okay.
That was all part of the comedic timing that we have here.
Yes, it is.
Mike and John got it going on in this big bang boom morning.
It's a big bang boom morning.
Big bang boom.
Yeah.
Good morning. This is Jeff and Jana.
Hi,
Hey.
Jeff and Jana. This is Mike and John. This sounds like a cheap movie. All right. So John was introducing on what your idea is for the Freedom River. Let's get a little bit more from you guys.
Yeah, let's get some background. Both of you are veterans, correct?
Just me. My
Oh.
wife is a veteran being associated with me.
Okay. Veteran by association.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
close enough. I'm sorry. Yeah. So tell us how this all came about. Give us the background about what Freedom River is and how it all came about.
I guess I'll start with my military background. In 1988, I entered the U.S. Army in a light infantry unit called 10th Mountain Division. I was an M60 gunner. Spent some time down in Central America and Panama, Joint Operation Training Center. Just had a really good time while I was in. Got out, got the Army College Fund and GI Bill. Got my degree from Michigan State in exercise physiology, and got the opportunity to work at the Ann Arbor VA Hospital. At the Ann Arbor VA, I got a chance to work with a lot of veterans, and that's when I got a true sense of what our veterans deal with on a daily basis when it comes to cognitive and physical disabilities. It was a real eye-opener, and after 3 years of working with these veterans from 8 in the morning till 4:30, just got a real true sense to see what our veterans need and the support that they need. One of the biggest things that we saw was that there's a lot of downtime at the hospital. Some of them might be there for a couple days, some might be a week, some might be several months. There's an extended care facility also at the Ann Arbor VA where there's 40 beds where veterans actually live there. And the problem is there's no outlet for them. There's no fresh air, there's no getting out. They're basically government property at this point. So anyway, when I left the VA, my wife and I have started our own business, and we started volunteering at the Ann Arbor VA, and we got a chance to go in on Christmas Eve for the last 19 years. We gather gifts, donations, money, and we go in on Christmas Eve. I dress up as Santa Claus, and we go in on Christmas Eve, and we go to each room, and we hand out gift bags and a $50 bill to the veterans to spend as they please, and get a chance to sit down with the veterans, each one, and talk to them for 5 or 10 minutes just to find out how their year is going, and just kind of catch up with them. But one of the things that we always ask is, what would you like for Christmas? And the common response was, how do I get out of here, and how do I get some fresh air?
Right.
And that kind of spurred us on to Freedom River.
So yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, 100 acres along the Huron River and in Hamburg Township. So when this comes to fruition, what do you envision?
Yeah, so this is actually this was just a concept my wife and I had a year ago. We live right here on the Huron River, and this property is right adjacent to our property. It's 94 acres. It's got a half a mile of frontage on the Huron River. On the east side, on the west side, we have 1,200 feet of frontage on a private lake, and it's just a beautiful piece of property. And I told my wife, I was like, what do you think? Do we have $2.4 million to buy this property and do something good with it for our veterans? And went and talked to the township here, and they were super nice, and eventually after a week they said, you should go for it. Don't know how you're going to raise over $2 million to buy this, but go for it. So my wife and I put together a presentation and started talking to business leaders, our clients, friends, family. And 9 months, we were able to raise just under $2 million to be able to purchase this property, and we just closed on it this last January here.
You know, I think there's folks at the Howell Opera House that want to talk to you about fundraising.
Talking about the fundraising from the businesses. Did you do just reach out like GoFundMe type stuff, or was it events?
No, this actually was no events. It was just word of mouth, and
Wow.
my wife and I, in our 27-year career of doing personal training and the people that we work with, we just brought this idea by them. Once we realized that we weren't crazy, it's like, hey, let's start reaching out to people and see if this can gain some support. And talk to some of our business leader friends and clients, and they said, this sounds great, we'll support you 100%. And before you knew it, we started hearing kind of numbers that were going to be coming in for the support on this. And it was just through word of mouth and just great support from the community.
Well, and I guess that speaks to this issue in general. I think people, I don't know of anyone that's like, no, I don't want to support the troops. But in terms of like, here's something practical, something, tangible that you can do. As you said, talking to these veterans who said, these gifts are nice, the visits are nice. Get me out of here. I want to go do something. I want to be active. And so to provide that space, boy, that just makes a lot of sense in so many different ways. Because it would touch upon so many things that, would touch upon mental health. It would touch upon physical, and things like that. It sort of runs the range there.
Right. And one of the things that holds strong, I guess, in the community when people are saying, who are the demographics that you're reaching out to? One example is the national average is less than 1% of our citizens actually served in the military. And here just in Livingston County, we have 7% of our population our veterans. And so we're well represented. And we're looking to serve Southeast Michigan, which constitutes about 172,000 veterans in 6 counties. And 27% of those veterans will not receive benefits because of their income. They weren't injured in combat, can't prove that their injuries were emotional distress caused by military service. And we're looking to fill that gap and help those veterans that really need it the most. And this is for veterans and their families. We're looking to help the family unit and get them out there. That's our main goal right now.
So with the purchase of the land, you said you just kind of moved along in that direction with the donations. Now there's other things you were talking about with this land for the Freedom River, boating and horseback riding, campgrounds. All that's going to cost more money, I would assume, too, to put all that in place.
Yeah. So we're going to do this in phases. So the first phase will be anything you can do during the daytime. So it'll be like a 12-hour time frame where it's more of the outdoor recreation, not spending the night or camping. So that first phase, like building the docks and all of that, all the roads and the fire pits and the fitness center, all that outside. We're looking to raise $1.5 million for that first phase. So that's going to be our big push to begin with.
And then what's the long-term, timeline that you're looking at for like full completion, or what do you have down the road?
We're looking to complete all this in 3 years. We'll be up and fully running.
Wow. That's pretty ambitious,
Yes,
but
it is.
having raised what you already have, and you said 9 months you raised that money?
Right.
Yeah. All right. I guess
it all happened so fast.
Yeah.
And what's great about it is that we've assembled a board of directors here, and they all have special skill sets. One I want to bring up is our good friends Mike and Debbie Haller, and he's the CEO of Wallbridge Construction, and he's been very instrumental with helping us go through this last year and making things fall on the line, working with local municipalities and making sure that our I's are dotted and our T's are crossed. It's just been a real blessing with having them on board. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, hats off to both of you for stepping up and making this happen. Again, we're talking with Jeff and Jana Yeeke, who are putting together Freedom River, 100 acres along the Earl River in Hamburg Township, outdoor recreation venue for veterans. And if people want to know more online resources, where should they go?
So the website's freedomriverflows.org, and if they want more information from us or want us to talk to them about them, give them a personal presentation too, they can email us at info@freedomriverflows.org, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all Freedom River Flows. Twitter's freedom_flows. But,
all right. Sounds like they got it going on too.
Yeah, it does sound like
Song gets stuck in my head, so
all right. Well, you want to give us a little rendition? Come on, a little duet, you two?
I'll save you all for
Oh, okay. All right. Next time.
All right. Well, if you want, you can join us in downtown Brighton tonight and sing along with us. All right, for Ladies' Night Out.
All right. Well, Jeff. Yeah, Jeff and Jana, thank you so much. And you know what? We'd love to have you back on the show at some later point when things are progressing, and you can give us an update.
Yeah, see where you're at.
That'd be great.
That sounds awesome. Thank you for the opportunity.
Hey, keep up the great work.
Yeah,
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You do the same. All right. Hey, we should mention, we are going to be in downtown Brighton tonight for Ladies' Night Out. We're thinking maybe around 7-ish. Is that what we're thinking? And this big bang boom.
Sure. No, we were.
That's what we were thinking.
Yeah, we were.
That's what I was thinking.
That's how you smell the smoke. Once again, our community spotlight sponsor, Jordan Genso, with the Genso team at Remax Platinum. You can find him on Facebook at Jordan Genso, Community Servant, Community Realtor. You can do your part to support small businesses on this Main Street May. And of course, this is Teacher Appreciation Week, and all week long and all month long, we're going to be highlighting different teachers through our sponsorship by the Howell Education Association, Building Futures Together. And they are promoting and celebrating excellence in the teaching profession. They are expanding on National Teacher Appreciation Week, highlighting and celebrating excellence in teaching all month long. Teachers that are being spotlighted this month have been nominated by their HEA colleagues as examples of teaching excellence. And today, we're going to be talking with Lindsay Perkins.
From Highlander Way Middle School, English teacher extraordinaire. As I hit the right number.
Okay, we're just making sure here.
Yeah, double checking here because you know what happens from time to time. Somebody hits the wrong number and
It's all right.
you end up talking to somebody in
Hello?
Topeka.
Hi, is this Lindsay?
This is Lindsay.
Lindsay Perkins.
Yes. Well, good morning.
It's Mike and John from Mike and John Got It Going On.
Congratulations. You're today's winner for the Teacher Appreciation Week, the Howell Education Association selecting you. You've been nominated by your fellow teachers as someone who exemplifies.
Yeah, when they said we're nominating Lindsay, we said, what's Lindsay got going on?
Yeah.
Something with Junior Survivor, maybe?
Yeah. Like that's turned out.
Positivity Project.
Yeah, like that's turned out into anything. You know, so Junior Survivor, this is connected to Senior Survivor, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so talk about, I mean, obviously last week you had the big Senior Survivor event and the big check, a lot of money raised. And Junior Survivor, this is the first year that I heard about Junior Survivor. Was this the first year that you guys did that?
Yeah, this was the first official year of, we called it 8th grade Survivor here at the middle school. Over the last few years, they've been trying to include the middle schools into the Survivor competition a little bit more. They started with the juniors in 5th grade. So this year, myself and Trisha Clark decided that we wanted to have some fun with it too. And so we created our 8th grade Survivor competition here at Highlander Way. So we presented the idea to our entire 8th grade, kind of pepped them up for it, told them what it was all about, building the inclusive playground at Genoa Park. And then we had the students apply to be selected. They even did little videos, not as involved as what the seniors do, but just a little bit of the taste. And then we chose 8 8th graders. And then the week prior to Senior Survivor is when we ran our competition. So our survivors competed in little fun challenges in the morning. Things like there was a little obstacle course, there was a balloon challenge to keep their balloons up in the air as long as they could, kind of like minute to win it challenges.
Yeah, I was going to say that's what it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, and so whoever won first, second, third place, we had some money that we added to their donation buckets every day that they could earn. And then they also had a hype person that would go around during hawk hour at the beginning of the day and help them collect money while they were competing. And they were at the lunches and they came up with their own ideas of bringing in little ring pops or bracelets or things like that to encourage the other students to donate to the cause. So they were matched up with a senior. So each of the seniors had a 5th grade and an 8th grader survivor that was helping them this year.
Oh, that's pretty cool, like little apprentices.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, they just did this during the school day. They didn't do the sleepover kind of thing like the seniors do, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They did go and they got to meet the senior along with the junior survivor earlier when they were first chosen, and then they did get to participate in the very first night of Senior Survivor. They went for dinner and the first competition, but they were just there for a couple of hours, so no spending the night in the school.
Yeah, no, just pretty cool stuff, and you see it kind of like if they were involved in it in 5th grade or 8th grade, by the time they get to the high school, it's like, yeah, I was in that then, and maybe I can do even better this time as a senior.
Yeah.
But what a great cause and fundraiser.
Talk about the Positivity Project, because you're also, you're involved in that as well.
Yeah, so the Positivity Project, we started using a handful of years ago, and there were some other districts close by that had started using it, and so that's kind of why we jumped on. So what it is it's 24 character traits that it was actually a professor from U of M who did his research on the power of positive thinking. And he came up and did this research, and the Positivity Project kind of went with it, and they found that there are 24 character traits that everyone possesses, no matter what religion, race, any of those circumstances. And so when they were doing the research, if they came up with one character trait and then found maybe it didn't fit a specific culture or lifestyle, then they would eliminate it. So with these 24 character traits, we go through one a week, and we look at the other people matter mindset, so thinking outside of themselves, which as middle schoolers, that's a little difficult sometimes. So getting them to think about what their strengths are, maybe what are some things that they could work on, how could they appreciate others around them, and support one another to kind of make a family and a supportive environment for everyone.
Well, you say middle schoolers thinking that. I'm thinking adults thinking outside of themselves.
Yes, could you expand this perhaps nationwide?
Maybe have a seminar or something.
I think the Positivity Project is working on it.
Okay. That's good to hear.
Well, that's great stuff, and keep up the great work there. We're talking with Lindsay Perkins, of course, and
Highlander Way Middle School. Yeah.
Just great stuff that you're doing, and we wanted to highlight you here on Teacher Appreciation Week, and we know, what you guys do matters, and obviously what you've told us really makes that clear, I think, for anyone who's paying attention. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, Lindsay, back to class. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
All right, and we want to thank again the Howell Education Association, local teachers working together for student success. So,
All right, a couple of other things. We were talking. We have the Walk for Warmth coming up May 14th.
Yes.
The Old Heartland High School.
Yes.
The stash is coming off.
Yes.
Thank you to all those that have donated so far. You donate a little bit more if we hit that $2,000 mark.
Yeah.
The back hair comes off too.
I've been thinking about this, and I think that's actually been a disincentive. I think our
think
fundraising is.
people
I
want
think
you to
the
be a
minute I started
fuzzy
talking
wuzzy?
about back hair, the fundraising stalled. That they're like, oh my god.
You think it was
no.
a want? The big
So
bang boom.
now
just
I'm
went boom,
thinking,
boom,
unless
boom.
we raise $2,000, if we don't raise $2,000, I will remove. So if you don't want that to happen, people,
we get stickers. We put them on his back. We rip it
we're
off.
holding
It's
you
gonna be
hostage.
great. All right.
You don't want
Would we do
PTSD. No one needs that. So
Would we do that? No, we would not.
yeah, we would. Of course we would.
All right. So again, too, for Ladies' Night Out tonight, downtown Brighton, we'll be handing out Mike and John swag. Of course, some of our new stickers. They're pretty cool. People have asked us where they can get them. You can get your giggle on downtown Brighton tonight.
Yeah.
Around 7 o'clock, we'll be hanging out. We'll definitely stop by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers if they'll let us in the door, and a few other places, and just hanging out. So if you're down there, be sure to look for us and say hi.
Yeah. It's getting later. I mean, it's staying later now.
Easy for him to
yeah,
say.
Not really. And so it's going to be, at least I can dial the right number. Anyway, so when we're out there, you won't necessarily need a nightlight for most of the time. Grinding those gears again.
Here, let me do this. So after Ladies' Night Out, and you get home and it's dark,
There you
you
go.
might need a nightlight.
Better.
Your mom
Okay.
might need a
Yeah,
nightlight.
that's true. Better.
Is that a little?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, all right. I'll give you that.
It's getting lighter later. What?
Yeah.
McNightlights.com. You've seen the one we have here. You can make your own. Just download or upload a photo. It can be an old photo, a new photo. You can bring it back to life via light with Nightlights. McNightlights.com. $20 a piece. Get 2 or more for $15 a piece. McNightlights.com. Place your order today for Mom's Day or any special occasion, birthdays, anniversaries, that kind of thing.
We are at $1,235 now, raised for the Mike and John walk team.
765 more. And whatever you demand becomes a reality.
Unless we raise, this is it. This is like
we
a,
need the big tote board.
this is
up
like a
here
terrorist
on-
video. Unless you meet my demands, I will take off my shirt in public. Oh my God!
If we don't hit $2,000, John's gonna wear a Speedo as
Yeah.
his mustache gets shaved. We don't want that to happen. All right.
So anyway, yeah. So thanks for everyone that's been donating, though.
We
So
appreciate
all jokes aside, we set $1,000 goal, and now we're over it, and let's keep it going because again, this money is going for a great cause to help folks in need with their utility costs throughout the year, and so we hope to see you out there on May 14th. To join us, and everyone, while supplies last, that joins us out there, we're working on some special Gigo swag.
Yes, we're working on it.
Yes.
We're in touch with Danae and company.
Our
at
personal
Spirit of Livingston.
designer.
All right.
Yeah.
2-cent history lesson today, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. National Chocolate Custard Day, too.
He spoke Spanish.
I did. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dun, dun,
I know that tune.
dun, dun, dun.
National Hoagie Day today, too. You ever have a hoagie?
Yeah, of course. I was born in Philadelphia, by the way.
Home of the hoagie.
Home of the hoagie.
That sounds fun. 1925 on this day.
Yes.
John T. Scopes. What did the T stand for?
Thomas.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
John T. Scopes was arrested in Tennessee for teaching Darwin's theory of evolution.
One of those teachers
Yeah.
trying to
Maybe
indoctrinate
that's what
his students.
Maybe that's what the T stood for.
Yeah. Trying to indoctrinate his students with evolution.
Have you ever been indoctrinated?
So,
It's 1956.
nothing new. And how ironic it happens on Teacher Appreciation Week.
I know. Elvis Presley, 1956 on this day, scored his first #1 single and album when Heartbreak Hotel hit the top of the charts.
Well, we know what our favorite version
Yeah, we do.
is. The Fonz.
And don't forget, in 2024, Fonzie for president.
Yeah.
He could still win.
He could. He's actually,
There's
Henry
not-
Winkler, very funny on the show Barry, which the new season's out now.
Sit on it, John.
He doesn't say that. No.
He should.
No, he doesn't really.
Astronaut Alan B. Shepard.
Although it'd be funny if they worked that in somehow.
They work a little.
If they worked in a sit on it, that would be a little nod, if you will. All right, go
Little tip of
on.
the hat. 1961, astronaut Alan B. Shepard Jr. became America's first space traveler as he made a 15-minute suborbital flight.
Right.
And a capsule launched at Cape Canaveral.
They essentially put him in a large cannon shell and just shot him into the air, and then he came back down. Kind of
Wasn't
pretty
like the
much what it
Jupiter
was.
2.
No,
that's
well,
for
God,
sure.
no.
Haven't heard that in a long time, have you? Jupiter 2.
Bubble-headed
They're on their
booby.
way to Alpha Centauri. Buffalo Springfield in 1968. The group split up.
What's going on here, man?
What's that sound?
Really more like, what's that smell?
Richie Fury, who was in Buffalo Springfield,
Yeah.
formed POCO.
Oh, I didn't know that.
See, you do learn a little something on this history.
And then they went
I,
into
therefore,
business.
am a teacher.
Right.
You can
Yes, you are.
appreciate
Thank you. Yes. And then they went into business making road signs.
POCO did?
Yeah, haven't you seen on the back of all those signs it says POCO? Haven't you seen that?
No.
Yeah.
I've been to the Poconos.
I'll show you.
Stephen Stills teamed up with David Crosby and Graham Nash. They said, what are we going to call this band? How about Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
Yeah.
And then Young came around,
And
and they had
then what?
And
Then what?
then what? They said, carry on.
They said,
1979,
So what's that smell?
Peaches and Herb started a 4-week run at #1.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Let's talk about their second #1 hit.
Reunited and it's understood. See,
That's Peaches
POCO.
traffic control specialist.
There's a company called POCO.
Yeah,
and
there is.
And I've seen their thing on the signs, and I was like, oh,
Huh, the band went on the sign making.
yeah. You know,
Congratulations.
that's nice.
And finally, 2015, scientists announced the discovery of the oldest and most distant galaxy ever found. Had a real fancy name. EGS-ZS8-1.
All right, got it. That's my new password.
13 billion light years from Earth. Did the Enterprise get there? Did Jupiter 2 ever get there?
No,
I don't think so.
no. Because the Enterprise really only stayed in this galaxy. Because there was a great barrier at the end of the galaxy. It was very difficult to get over.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
take your word
So
for
they
it
had to
on
stay
that.
in this galaxy.
Yeah.
I mean, they did get over it on the other side,
Was
but it was
there
the
a
great
wall?
the great barrier.
There was a
Yeah.
big wall.
Yeah,
there.
kind of. It was like a wall of energy.
I see. And they
Activated.
couldn't get through
it was
it.
activated photonic energy.
They didn't put it.
They
full
tried to get
throttle.
over it. You're right. Yeah, and they had to stop there.
Yeah.
And in the new series, Star Trek Discovery, they come up against it and they're able to get through. Spoilers. Don't want to spoil anything yet.
Welcome to Nerdville.
But what are you talking about?
By the way,
I'm
yes,
cool wearing my Iron Man t-shirt talking about Star Trek. Yeah.
ladies, he's taken.
I'll be at Ladies' Night tonight in downtown Brighton.
Yes, he will.
If you'd like to come up and, get some of this intoxication.
You know what? In case you'd like to say hi to John.
Speaking of saying hi,
Say hi to our friends at the Greenhouse in Walled Lake. Jerry Millen and Company, your one-stop shop for your quality, safe, legal, and effective cannabis needs.
Right.
Say hi to our friends at the Greenhouse.
hey-o. Go online, greenhousemi.com, and you can make arrangements even for delivery to Brighton.
Yes. Greenhouse. Jerry Millen has been involved in Michigan's cannabis community for over 15 years, a grower, caregiver, and advocate for helping those in need. And I want to bring, as John said, services here to Brighton. There'll be more details on that coming up in a future show.
We'll be talking with Jerry next week, actually.
A week from
of course,
today.
Big meeting next week in Brighton. And
Is
we'll
it
be
a week
talking
from
to
today?
him.
No, a week from Tuesday.
Yeah, from yesterday, yeah. So, of course, the Greenhouse 100% locally owned. And for those who have sleep issues, you can stop in at the Greenhouse, talk to one of their bud tenders about their sleep gummies, wide variety of flavors and dosages. They can work with you to develop and individualize a regimen. Do you have a regimen?
A regimen?
Yeah.
I thought it
You're a
was
fitness
regimen.
guy.
I thought it was a regimen. I have a regimen.
It's
not
a regimen. It's a
regimen.
soft G. It's like a Z.
Soft G.
It's a reg.
Soft G.
It's like SHZ.
Soft G. It sounds
It's
like a sauna.
regimen. Dude, regimen.
Well, I have a regimen. It's tougher.
Okay.
You
I
have a
I have a
regimen.
regimen. Here's
No,
my.
wait a minute.
Here's my
Dude, go.
regimen. Oh, what's on Netflix today? It's part of my regimen.
I'm going to do some push-ups.
Meanwhile, in
I'm
Mike's
doing
place,
some push-ups
I'm doing a
and
regimen.
and I got a regimen. That's right. Well, is it Reginald or Reginald? Reginald.
Reginald.
Jackson. Reginald, come on in. It's time for tea. Reginald.
Honestly, we did not stop by the Greenhouse before today's show.
No, but I should have because I had trouble sleeping last night.
All right, greenhousemi.com.
Yes. So if you have trouble sleeping, tossing and turning,
Or just listening to the show. They can help.
want to thank a couple of sponsors as well.
Yeah.
Our friends at Murphy's Family Auto, Fairchild, LaBelle and Rice, and Spirit of Livingston, where
Right.
you can get our gear, our merch. And this month, 100% of the funds raised, we've picked a new charity, a new donor where we're giving the funds, correct, for the month of May.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
We are helping out Howell firefighter Steve Moore, who is continuing his battle against pancreatic cancer. And so we want to help out his GoFundMe account, and you can as well. You can just do it simply by going to the merch store at mikeandjohnpodcast.com.
Pick out your t-shirts.
Right. And so
mugs,
that's kind of a win-win. You get some
stickers.
cool gear, plus you're helping out Steve. And or as well, you can find the link on our Facebook page. You can just go right and make a donation straight to his GoFundMe account. And of course, we wish Steve all the best as he continues his fight against pancreatic cancer.
You know, I have never met Steve personally, but he did. He messaged me on Facebook the day that John and I exited our former
Exactly.
employment, and he wrote a very nice letter to me, and it. Having never met the man,
Right.
it was very nice that somebody like that reached out, and we've been in contact since then. So do what you can to help out Steve.
Right.
Wearing our gear will help, or if you want to donate, as John said, we do have a link for that as well.
Right. So, yeah, good. We'll be doing that for the month of May. And tomorrow, by the way, we'll be talking with Rhonda from Torch 180,
Yes.
who they were the recipients of the funds through the end of April. And we'll be making that presentation.
We will.
Well, not a presentation.
We'll
Let's just tell her.
Yeah,
No big check. We don't have a big
That's
check
like,
or anything.
You know, it's the day before class, and we have to
Yeah.
have the presentation ready. That
Hey,
ain't happening. We're
trust
just
me.
gonna-
Trust me. I just graded final presentations for the students I teach, and I'm like, really? Did you start this an hour ago?
Did you learn from Mike and John?
You know, it's-
Yeah.
Really?
So we'll let Rhonda know what she's getting.
Yes. Oh, she knows what she's getting.
She knew going in.
She should know by
But
now for
Torch
sure.
180, we definitely want to take care of them, and we appreciate everybody that's helped support us along the way. So
Right.
that's being passed along. So thanks for everybody that's helped out there.
Yeah, and indeed, another one of our supporters, of course, you mentioned them just a second ago, Murphy's Family Auto. You can call to schedule an appointment, 517-552-3040. They're now open Saturdays, 8 to 1. And if you tell them Mike and John sent you, you get 5% off your bill.
Tell them you want John to change your oil.
No,
They'll say no,
They
they
want
have
their vehicle
professionals
to
that'll take care of
work.
that.
I'll be like, is this the oil? Nope. Well, sorry. Is this it? No, that's not it. Well,
John, just sit
what
there.
if I take this out? No,
Why don't
that.
you talk
ooh,
to the
yeah.
customers?
Oh, that's the brake. Sorry. Yeah. So, so here
Auto
is
shop
the
not available at
here-
John's High School.
Here's the Murphy's Family Auto Guarantee. I will not be near your car at all. All right? So
That's a bonus.
You know that's true. When you bring your car to Murphy's Family Auto, John King will be nowhere near your vehicle. And you save 5% off your bill if you say Mike and John sent you.
All right. We have post show coming up.
Yeah, we
That's
do.
going to do it for today. We will see you back here tomorrow. For those that are coming downtown Brighton tonight for Ladies' Night Out, we'll see you on the corner.
Be hanging.
When John got
Trying to look cool.
Trying.
You're not gonna wear the Iron Man shirt, right?
You've been giggling with Mike and John. Tune in next time and giggle on.
Giggle on.
We're gonna go on tonight.
All right. Thank you to Kitty and Cougar.
Yep.
All right.
It's time for post show.
All right. We're done here.
No, it's time for post show.
I know. No,
we're done there.
I meant on the podcast.
But
We
the
turned off
post
the
show.
podcast is off. It's
Podcast?
just us now.
Yes, it is.
It's just us, not those podcast people. The pod people aren't part of this.
It's just the tubers.
It's just the hey, tubers.
You know?
Or as my wife pointed out, she goes, you say it's the exclusive YouTube, but you're on Facebook too. Like, yeah, I know.
It's the face tubers.
It's just, well, that's why it's just the exclusive post-show content.
Yes.
Whatever platform you happen to be enjoying us on, here it is. What do we got? Do we got anything?
We can't do 2 no post shows in a row.
We can't.
No, we can't.
Okay. What do we got?
Maybe we should.
That's
reveal.
still bad. What do we got?
Do I always have to be in charge
Yeah,
of the
you
post show? I didn't know that was my homework,
Yeah.
but apparently it is.
All right, what do we got?
What do we got?
Stop talking to the microphones. Podcast off. I'm talking to this one.
I can put this out of the
Yeah,
way.
you can
Get that out of the way.
Get out of here. Okay. There.
So, for post show today.
You know what? Let's get up close and personal.
Whoa! You just went sideways on post
Here we
show.
go. Let's get up close and personal.
All right.
Maybe not that close.
Not that
All right,
close.
here we go. Hi. Welcome to the post show content. It's Mike and John.
This is John.
Yeah, thank you.
This is Mike.
Thank you.
That's your post show.
And that's Rocky.
That is.
All right. Or I guess that's right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
That's Rocky. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what do we got?
Clean fingernails. I have clean fingernails. How are yours? A little cuticle.
Mine are clean, but I bite my nails so they look ugly.
Oh, you shouldn't bite your
It's a
nails.
bad habit, I know.
If anybody has an idea of what John can put on his nails,
No,
or
we're not
stop
putting any
biting,
crap on my nails.
Maybe some vinegar or no, vinegar would be like chips. These are-
Oh, these are remarkably good. I'll just dip them in French fries and yum, 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 yum.
Now, I have never seen, as long as we've worked together, I've never seen you chew your nails. When are you doing that? When I'm not looking?
Well, you haven't been paying attention. It's a bad habit, I know.
Well, we're going to find a way for you to break that.
Okay, how did we get to this?
Well, you said you post.
Well, because you were showing your fingernails because you were like, oh, show me your fingernails. You want to see my fingernails?
Sometimes I'll chew the little skin right
check
there.
them.
See,
Isn't that gross?
do you,
Okay.
chew, do you chew the skin right there, like the cuticle?
Here's my
stuff?
here's my fingernails. I mean, they're not like horrible, but they're not great either.
Yeah.
You
Well-
know? So there's that one.
All right, I guess that's your post show.
You want to get a look at that?
You know, what if my mom is watching this?
Sorry.
That's enough.
Sorry.